Hello again, Honky Tonks. I know I made a video yesterday about Nigel Farage and his decision to stand as Reform leader and stand as a candidate for Clacton. I thought I'd expand on that because there are a few things I believe, even though it's the best decision Reform could have done to point it in the right direction by Nigel Farage taking over from Tice, because Tice was a cock-up, wasn't he? He really was. I mean, under him, I think Reform wouldn't have gone anywhere, but with Nigel Farage they've got that extra power, haven't they? That little bit more horsepower, like Formula One cars need desperately, and they'll pay millions of pounds to get it. And this is their horsepower, old Nigel Farage. He's got the clout, he's got the personality, the charisma and the pulling power. He's the guy who could, even though Reform won't win, it's going to be a Labour victory. It's a given, isn't it? They're going to win. We're going to have 4 or 5 years of socialist misery thrust upon us by people who really don't care about the country. They will open the floodgates, net zero, higher taxes. It's going to be just hell. But out of that hell, I'm hoping the right man or woman will rise from the ashes and do the right thing and just fix everything properly, as has happened through history anyway. Now, like I said, even though this is the best decision for Reform, I think that direction could be tweaked slightly by rectifying and implementing a few things, and I've got a few ideas for them if you want to hear it. Now, the first thing Nigel Farage needs to do is to rehire the anti-immigration candidates that Richard Tice sacked on advice from Hope Not Hate. These people quite literally said what the country thinks. Okay, people on the right, the real conservatives, patriots, people who are concerned about the country, they said what the people think. And by Richard Tice listening to Hope Not Hate and sacking them, that was a big, massive own goal, in my opinion. So Nigel Farage needs to rehire these people and make that right. Secondly, he needs to publicly denounce Hope Not Hate. Richard Tice is tarred thanks to his association with them, listening to them, jumping to their tune. And is it Nick Knowles, the leader? What an embarrassment that was. That's not how the people of this country think, or their core voters anyway. So publicly denounce them, and when they offer advice, tell them to piss off, basically, and that's it. Third, he needs to make up with Tommy Robinson, I think, publicly. Shake his hand in public, in front of the press, and invite him to become a member, and his circle as well. Invite them all, because that guy has pulling power. 20,000 people at that march on Saturday. I was part of it. It was just great. Imagine those 20,000 people who backed Tommy, following Tommy into Reform. It'll be a miracle, wouldn't it? And you can't say that Reform doesn't need that kind of numbers. It does. Let's face it. And fourth, publicly denounce and distance from Charlie Mullins, the pound shop Rod Stewart, or Shit Rod as they're calling him. That guy was an anti-Brexit campaigner. He's a multimillionaire businessman, and he also aggressively pushed the jab. He pushed it so aggressively that he suggested himself draconian measures against people who are refusing to take it. So for that reason alone, I think Charlie Mullins is toxic, and the fact that he looks like Rod Stewart and those eyebrows, I mean, good Lord. A man shouldn't have eyebrows like that, ladies and gentlemen. They really shouldn't. But anyway, that's just my opinion, and those are just my points. If you've got any more, put them in the comments. I'd be happy to read them. So yeah, this is great news for Reform. Oh, and one other thing. There's that wrong-un from Labour who rang the police on Katie Hopkins. I think he's still a candidate, isn't he? Get rid of him. We don't need wrong-uns in Reform whatsoever. We need a clean sheet. We need a slightly straighter direction. We need to make up with people, i.e. Tommy Robinson, etc. And we need to denounce others, because we can't have people like Hope Not Hate influencing the leaders' decisions, can we? Eh? We really can't. But yeah, Nigel's over the target. The left are climbing over themselves to just destroy the man yet again. He went through that years ago, didn't he? Nigel isn't perfect. He isn't perfect, but he's a damn sight better than Richard Tice or anyone else. I think he's the only guy to lead. He's the only guy that people want, and he's the only guy with any clout in my opinion, and he really does scare the left. I mean, I reckon they were all crying into their expensive lattes with rare albino rat's milk and quinoa sandwiches and cereals and stuff yesterday, crying. And this is the guy Labour put in to fight Farage, that could be a nickname, Naraj, in Clacton. Yeah, see what I mean? I don't know who's more out of touch, I really don't, but there we go. That's politics for you, all good fun, and that's me. Thanks for watching and listening. Give me your comments, I love reading them and interacting. Share my stuff, and if you agree, then of course subscribe. I love that even more. That's all I want, your likes and subscriptions. So until the next time, I'm Past 49 and Roger Trout.